So a few notes for the end of the Zarcha Hashemer sugya. Quickly to start by concluding what we were talking about the other day. We have our two brightot, right? I just have the conclusions here, right? Im baror lecha hadavar kashemesh she'ein lo shalom imcha hargehu, otherwise don't. And im baror lecha kashemesh sheyesh lo shalom al targehu, and if not, don't. And then we have Rav's statement about this very special dude, Rav Chanyan bar Shila, and our final conclusion about why that guy is so special. Question that we didn't get to in class is, what's the relationship between Rav's statement and these two brightot? So let's just quickly sort of recap. What are the points of the two brightot? Well, bright number one, kill him only if you're sure he's violent, otherwise don't kill him. Bright number two, kill him unless you're sure he's peaceful, otherwise do kill him. Now, what does Rav say? There. Rav says, I'll kill anyone except for this guy. Why? Because I'm sure he's peaceful. Look at that for a second. See if you see what it's parallel to. I'll kill anyone except for this guy, who I'm sure is peaceful. I have the slides in the wrong order, but you should see that what he's doing is basically restating bright number two. I'll kill him unless I'm sure he's peaceful. Now, what did he add to bright number two? First of all, we have Rav, a very early Amora, telling us through us kind of a personal, this is what I do. I follow the second brighta. I'm not willing to hold back until I'm sure in that kind of situation. I'm going to follow the second brighta. I'm killing him unless I'm confident that I'm safe. So one thing is just that he's telling us I follow the second brighta. The second thing he tells us is that when it says, if you're sure that he's peaceful, Rav says, I understand that to mean, if you're sure based on who he is, that he's peaceful. Right? Rav saying, these brights are focused on what I know about this person. Right? Kill him unless he's someone that couldn't possibly mean harm. So, this is actually a very simple relationship. Rav A is telling us, reporting that he, in practice, would follow the second brighta, not the first. And he explains it as being, the second brighta, as being about, you know that he has shalom imcha if you know who he is and you know something about him. And otherwise, if you don't know anything, you assume the worst. Okay. Now we're going to turn to that little middle line that we skipped. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through some key terms. I want you to just listen carefully, understand the terms of what they mean. We will encounter the actual text on Wednesday in class, but I want you to really have gotten these terms so you know what they mean when you hit them. So, number one, kasha and lo kasha. This is a new term, but not a new logical structure. Kasha, there's a contradiction between two sources. Lo kasha, here I'm going to explain to you why they don't contradict. Right? So, problem, kasha, da-da-da-da-da-da. Lo kasha, da-da-da-da-da-da. The term stam or stama, right? It means, have a few different meanings in Hebrew, but for us, anonymous, the unnamed author of a Mishnah or Braita in our case, or we also use the same term for discussion parts of the Gemara. The aleph is a prefix meaning al. You'll find the prefix, you'll say, I know this word, without the aleph must be a prefix. Genius. And finally, kan and kan. Here, this, there, that. And what this is doing is, unlike the other resolutions of apparent conflicts that kind of combined the two opposing views, here we're distinguishing them. Oh, these two Brightot, one of them refers to situation X, the other one refers to situation Y. That's that why they have different rulings. Okay, so the most crucial things really are kashya lo kashya, pointing out a contradiction, telling us why it's not, and kan as a way of distinguishing. This one refers to X, that one to Y. Okay, couple of terms that you're going to see in Rashi. First of all, vadai. You know the word vadai, for sure, right? Certainly. Here, it's talking about assumptions, right? He's saying, surely he intends such and such, meaning you must assume that he intends such and such until you have evidence to the contrary. We will see that twice, sort of once in each direction in terms of what our basic assumption is. But as he's restating each breita, surely, right, you should assume X until you have evidence that it's not X. And the other term, hilchach, therefore. Right? You assume X, Y, and Z, and because of that, you act in this way. You know this, and therefore you must do that. Okay, so Hilchach begins the conclusion part. Here's the practical thing that follows on what we just said. Okay, I think that's all I got. End of slideshow. So go make sure you've got these terms. We'll kind of quickly review them on Wednesday, but I want you to make sure you know them coming into class. And then we will dive right into the text, where you will be able to use that very conveniently packaged knowledge. Have a happy weekend, and I will see you next week.